Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
All like right on time. Who do we have here? Okay, so we're still waiting for Julio, who's going to be facilitating. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Friday. Nothing to do. Nothing to do today. Nothing to finish. No, nothing.
I think one time I was with Luigi and he was like, so I went to go to work and everything was closed. And then I realized it's Sunday.
It happened often, actually. Probably if they were five, it would be easier to count them, but because they go on two hands,
So we're still waiting for Julio. I'm surprised he's not here yet. And I also just posted this on like somewhere in the Seeds Discord as well, but I think that was very late notice. Okay, Julio's saying that Zoom is a bit slow. So I invited Julio to facilitate this call, and I feel like I should wait to let him do that.
I think, I may be wrong, but I think Julio's likes the pronunciation Julio, just like Nyla
Julio.
and
Okay.
Sarah. So I'm getting
Sure.
everybody's pronunciation right. I think it's Julio.
I did not know that. Thank you, Mark. He said his Zoom is just a bit slow today, but he's getting online now. I wish there were like some background music. This is like an awkward silence. Still waiting. Anyone want to share something fun while we wait for Julio?
I think we need to have a kazoo band while we
Kazoo band. What is a kazoo band?
Everyone gets their kazoo and we all play something, and either it could be all coordinated or not.
Is that those like plastic things that looks kind of like
yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even think I've thought about that since I was like 8 years old.
We could be a real sensation, the Seeds Kazoo Band.
Well, we can't make them out of plastic, so we're gonna have to find another solution for that.
I have them in metal.
Do they?
They're the good ones. They're the kind that come in the little case.
Oh,
We can have drumming too.
We definitely need drumming. Actually, we've got a few musicians on this call right now. Raise your hand if you play an instrument. Okay, there are people who are not raising their hands, so they're either not listening. Hello. Okay, well, we're like 4 minutes past. I'm not really sure. Why he's not in here yet. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Hello, Diana. I don't really know what's happening with him. It seems like his internet is being a bit funky. So, okay, he says he's trying to join from his phone. Maybe this is him, I don't know. Seems to be a network problem. Okay, so let's just get started. The reason we wanted to have this call is just kind of an open call. Gonna go through briefly the purpose of Movement Building Circle, which is available in the DHO, and then the way we've constructed identity and expression subcircle of movement building to serve that purpose. And then kind of as briefly as we can go through all of the projects that are ongoing right now and in the pipelines, and there's quite a few. So we're going to try and be as brief as possible on that. And then literally like a 10-second introduction of the people working on those projects, and then open it up to questions. So I want to keep that as short as possible and then have Julio facilitate all of the questions. Julio, sorry, got started without you.
Sorry, I had the network issues here with my connection app, but I'm in. Sorry
Okay.
about that. All right. So we're in the checking phase. We're around getting everyone.
We haven't done a check-in.
Yeah. So maybe we can start with one word, how we are arriving today. The word that brings you here, that connects you to this meeting, to this space, so we can connect. So whoever wants to start, then pass to the next person.
Curiosity. What about you, Mark?
Community.
You need to pass it to somebody, Mark, but you can pass it to me if you like. I'll
Lisa.
continue. Thank you. Full transparency, and I'll pass it to Leo.
Well-used color, Alberto.
Well, I think curiosity works well for me too. So pretty much that. And I pass it to Sarah.
Sarah, you're muted. Oh, still can't hear you. Nope.
If you want to maybe type into the chat, yeah. Communication.
Communication. Who do you want to pass it to?
Luigi.
And Sarah, I'll quote Mark, community. And I will pass to, who is to go? Still, Danny.
Hi, everyone. So lovely to see your faces. I missed the question, what the check-in question, whatever is. I'm super excited to be here. I have to leave in 20 minutes, but I'm mainly here to support these angels of partly the Movement Building Circle now. We're really super happy that you are offering this so everybody gets to know a little bit better what's going on. And I pass it on to Andrea.
Hi there. So curiosity works for me, and then a learner state of mind, or beginner state of mind maybe. I pass it on to Maria. Maria, are you talking? Because we can't hear. Maybe Luigi first and then until Maria. So, yeah, okay, Luigi. Then.
So I'll pass because I went already. I'll pass to Reiki. Are you here?
Family, and I will pass to. Kim, did you go?
Hi, inspiration. Pass to whoever hasn't gone yet, and I'm not Diana. Maybe Diana.
I went already, but I can pass it to Lisa.
I'm the only one who hasn't gone yet.
Back to Naila then.
Transparency is my word. And I'll pass back to Julia.
Yeah, and my word is clarity. And so welcome you all. So I think Naila already did the introduction about the purpose of this meeting. That is presenting the the identity and expression circle and the projects that it's going to read. So I'll pass it back to Naila so Naila can do this presentation. And then we can go over questions and answers at the last half of the meeting. And yeah, so go ahead, Naila.
Okay, so I'll try and get through this as fast as I can without rushing. So here we go. And just a quick review of the movement building circle purpose is to co-create a thriving movement of movements, weaving together people and organizations at every level, local, national, regional, and planetary, rooted in the emergent spirit of regenerative renaissance. So I can put this link also in the Zoom as well. Actually, I can't. If someone else has it, they can do that because apparently if I'm sharing my screen, I can't chat as well. So that you can have this, but just kind of keep this in the back of your mind that the movement building circle is designed to create a thriving movement. It's about momentum and it's about growth and it's about bringing people in and giving them the tools to allow this regenerative renaissance to emerge. So with that in mind, we created the identity and expression sub-circle of movement building to cater to very specific needs within that greater purpose. So this is the identity and expression sub-circle document, which I can also send to everyone. The purpose is to empower, collect, curate, and express the story of the Seeds universe through the movement building circle. So that is to accurately tell the collective story of the Seeds universe as expressed by the alliances, ambassadors, and community at large. So it's basically to make sure that the movement is telling the story. And if that movement means an alliance or an individual or a network or community, that they're being called to understand what their identity is within that and express it so that we can grow that movement of movements. The specific accountabilities of the sub-circle are to create and maintain a system to pull in the collective talents of the community and our network of networks on a quest, challenge, bounty basis for collective storytelling. And we can get into, I'll tell you some of the projects that we've got underway to do that specifically. Collect and curate content coming in from the Seeds universe members, ambassadors, alliances, and community at large. To develop a system to encourage Seeds members, ambassadors, and alliances to create content for the greater Seeds community. And that's anything from visual content to slide decks to social media reposts to templates to all kinds of things. develop modules for the Seeds Academy to nurture community-driven stories and their expression. So we're going to be doing a Seeds Academy on storytelling, kind of like a narrative arc. What are the kind of main key things that you need in order to develop a story? How do you make it compelling so that people are interested in the story that you're telling, and so on and so forth. Ensuring that all content is sense checked to avoid attack vectors. Sense checking is like kind of the job of the editors, and we're putting together, hopefully, well, I'll get into that later, but just making sure that, you know, there's no spelling errors or grammar mistakes. And sometimes grammar mistakes can change an entire meaning of a sentence based on where you put the comma. Like, it's time to eat, grandma. Should be, it's time to eat, comma, grandma. Otherwise, you are actually eating your grandmother. So little things like this, which are quite important. We have a policy that every single thing that goes out gets at least 2 pairs of eyes. So the content creator is 1, and then another pair of eyes just to make sure that grammar and spelling is correct, but also that we don't say anything that could endanger the movement. And sometimes that has to do with legal things that are a bit nuanced. So we want to make sure that the people who are editing the content are trained and understand what those nuances are, so that we make sure that we don't do anything that could potentially open us up to dangerous activity. And then create and disseminate social media powered by the community. So Sarah is going to go through the social media and what that means specifically, because we're not doing marketing with social media. We're just establishing a presence and then giving tools for other people to also establish presence and grow in a very organic and grassroots way. So the domain here is very specifically the Seeds library, but then in the future, and I can't write it as a domain here because it hasn't been created yet, should be like the backend development of, there are 2 websites that we're hoping to develop as well for movement building, one for alliances and one for ambassadors, which are also kind of in the works. And then the identity and expression module of the Seeds Academy. The objectives of this subcircle is to co-create the identity of Seeds and empower the entire community to express it. And that is also kind of a call to allow each individual, each organization, each network, each alliance to figure out what their identity within this movement is, what they want to bring to the table. And part of that is also a lot of the stuff that we're doing on the app side, on the UX side, is shifting the priority from what's your role to what's your passion, and your role comes after that. So like really getting everyone to follow what they love and do what they value most and gain value in return for that. The key results are a system of processes and co-created in collective storytelling, pioneering a new way to tell the story of a new civilization. So we're doing this. This is the first time that something like this has happened, at least on this scale. So we're trying to make sure that we honor the essence of what that really means and do it in as collective and inclusive way as possible. A massive stories that truly embody the collective that we are as a movement of movements by the people and for our planet. An empowered community to express the collective story and identity that is created by the coming together of such a collective. So one kind of important note is it's not about telling the people what the identity of Seeds is, but the expression of many voices coming together to co-create a shared identity. So you can think of it like a granular example of that would be like a family. So you've got, you know, in your, you know, very traditional nuclear family, mom, dad, let's say 2 kids and a dog. Each one of those individuals will have their own identity, but together they kind of have a family identity. And that's what we're talking about, is this collective identity. And we can have different modules of that, like the identity of this bioregion or the identity of this working group or whatever. And then collectively, it's how is that spoken? How is that told? And that's kind of the beauty and the magic of what we're trying to facilitate. We're not even creating it. We're just facilitating the creation of it from the people who are part of it. So I'll stop sharing that now so that I can, did someone manage to get that through?
Yeah, I sent the deck for the movement building proposal, but I don't have your proposal. So
okay, I'll put that through right now so that everyone, this is the proposal here. Okay, now the projects that we've got for that is quite a lot. We've got, as I mentioned, two kind of separate websites that we're developing. One is a movement building alliance website that we want to create that's going to help people, help alliances who are not, and alliances are really tricky because we contacted a lot of organizations before we really even had an app, and we have to activate them. So give them all of the tools to understand, okay, this is how it's working now, and kind of create a flow that exists online so that it makes the whole process much easier than just the long phone calls, which are what's happening now. And also new alliances that want to come on board. How do I make this happen? The new app is going to make it a lot easier, but we want online resources for that as well. In addition to that, a Seeds Ambassador website, we're also hoping to create a calendar for like proposals with purpose and, you know, bioregional activities, or, I mean, Danny's much more involved in that, and we haven't developed this website yet, but basically offering all of the tools for ambassadors as well online. We are going to hype up Seeds library processes to make sure that those are as easy as possible and everyone has all of the tools that they need in order to create an article, and the technical aspects of doing that online. So like make sure your link opens in a new tab and all of the kind of back end things, and then continuously working to automate those processes as much as possible. We want to get more editors, and we're hoping to create a badge. That's something that Kim is working on, so that you get kind of like qualified to be like, okay, I understand the ethos, I understand what the attack vectors are, I can check grammar and spelling, so when something comes in, I can just go bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, great, publish, so that it doesn't fall on the same 3 people that it's been following on for ever. And make that an easier process. We want to create we want to reach out to the alliances and campaign projects that are actually ongoing right now, so that we can extract content from them and get their stories that we can push out, or even help them facilitate creating their own stories. We want to reach out to the community to create the content that they are looking for. So if they're like, hey guys, I've been looking forever for content on what the Seeds blockchain is, and I don't have any of that, and I need it to tell to the people because people are asking in my region, we can either help them create that or create it for them, or go introduce the right people so that can happen. But also identify what kind of content they want to create and make sure that they can do that. We're also working on translations. Right now, the heaviest need is in Spanish, but if we have the ability to create these badges, like a translator badge or an editor badge, the problem is you can't just have one translator, because then you have to have that second person making sure that the translation is, you know, T's are crossed and I's are dotted and all of that. So we need two. And then, obviously Seeds Academy to teach people to do that, developing the badges to make that happen. We're working with the D Studio as well to help all of the content that comes in, kind of polish it, put some watermarks and resizing potentially to make it fit into one video or one piece of content. We've got obviously Sarah, who's working very extensively on the social media presence, not necessarily to reach out to people, but just to create kind of a landing page. And then Alberto and Leo are working on developing all of the templates, the decks, the tools, the Canva to make sure that everyone who wants to spread the word of seeds has the tools to do that in a very easy way, where they can express their own identity and their own content, but in a way that still looks like seeds. And Alberto's been working very, very hard to make sure that that can happen. So one last thing that I'll say before I finish it up, we can open up to maybe the team to just say hi and what they're working on, is that we are not marketing. This is not what we are doing at all. It's more like refining the presence and giving the movement the tools that the movement needs in order to grow themselves. So it's the difference between giving someone a fish and teaching them to fish. Like we're building the rod so that they can do it themselves. That's the goal of this subcircle. So I know there's been a bit of confusion about whether or not we're doing marketing strategies. We're not doing marketing. We're not doing any like paid campaigns or paid ad stuff. None of that. It's all extremely grassroots, and it's just providing as many tools as we possibly can provide so that this can kind of proliferate, and developing ways to like teach maybe this group can teach another wave of, you know, graphic designers or video editors or written editors, and then they can go and give out more, and we can, you know, just the student becomes the teacher, and so on and so forth, until we grow this to a critical mass. So that's all I've got to say. I know it's quite a lot, and I hope I didn't rush too much through all of that. And now I hand it back to Julio.
Thank you, Nella. So just in terms of clarity, each subcircle also needs a lamplighter, at least one. You can have more than one. So in this case, you are going to be the lamplighter, right? Just for this proposal, and as I understand. And also another important piece that we want to share is about the budget, the subcircle budget. So in terms of how many roles are going to work for this subcircle, and if you are thinking about quests, a general idea. Of course, we don't have to go over exact numbers right now, but just to give like an overview of how do you expect for at least for the next 3 months in terms of people and roles. And maybe you wanted to go over the team, so who is already in, and everyone can speak a little bit about what they plan to do. And then we go over the questions for everyone and Q&A. Okay.
Sure. As for budget, everyone who is like, there's actually no additional budget being created for this right now. All of the people who are working on this already have roles or quests ongoing. If we need additional budget, we can certainly request that. But right now it's still kind of, we're not actually changing the overall money. We're just kind of reorganizing the way that we like pulling people together from various different working groups, essentially. So it's a reorganization, but not an addition currently. That was the budget question. There was another question in there.
Yeah, the last one is related to people, and so who's going to be at this circle, and how many people are working at this subcircle, and then if you want to go over what are they going to do briefly, like very few words introduction, and then we can go over the questions and answers.
Well, I think the general assumption, and we need to have like a concrete conversation about this, is that yes, that I would be lamplighter, and that Kim would co-lamplight that with me. And then I think there could probably for sure be room for 3. I would like for Luigi also to lamplight with regards to the visual aspect. But we still need to have those conversations. but what we can do is each person who's currently working within the subcircle can speak to what they're working on. So if that's okay, Julio? Yeah, okay. So I kind of touching a bit of all of these, but my main focus is I really want to focus on getting the processes as smooth as possible. I am doing a bit of editing content that's coming in, but I would say Kim's handling the bulk of that. And I really want to get these websites up and running because I really feel like providing those tools, for me anyway, are very important. Obviously, everyone resonates differently with the tools that they want to develop, but that's what I'm primarily working on, and I will pass to Kim.
Hello. I am primarily working with the Seeds Library right now to hopefully motivate and activate the community to provide more content, especially with respect to campaigns and alliances, with the goal of informing the community and the public and inspiring them to bring in more content. Once they see the content, they want to create more content and get more involved in telling the story, so that we actually are building a movement and telling people about it. Sarah? I'll be supporting social media as well at some point.
Sorry, Kim, did you pass to me?
I did pass to you, sorry, yes.
Oh, you did, okay. Sorry about this. This is a strange user experience because I am speaking through my phone, but my video is on my computer. I'm just gonna share my screen to go over what's currently being worked on with the social media strategy, and how we want to really be empowered to drive this forward. This has been something we've been working on quite consistently for quite a long period of time. Just to give you a kind of overall view of our social media, at the forefront is really empowering the community, much like Nyla said, with our alliances and people who are part of Seeds, but also with the social media, giving them an opportunity to really get involved, whether or not that's through hashtags, gamification, little campaigns that we're doing. The whole idea really here is that people see how they can really get involved, and we start to get kind of trending content, and it starts to really feed back. So it's very, very cyclical, everything that we're doing here. And here are just some ideas that we've got to get it all started. So I'm just going to really rush through this, and I can share this with everyone afterwards. But we're just looking to start with our purpose, promise, principles, and personality, always remembering our values. And really, this is a call to connect. So this is a call for us all to connect and transform together. We are going to be using lunar cycles in order for us to communicate most effectively and efficiently. So as and when people are kind of called to connect, called to share, or called to be more introspective, we're really going to look at those lunar cycles and have those kind of guide the type of content that we're delivering as and when we're delivering it. Our public persona is we're a connected collective of conscious creators who are united in vision and on a mission to make the planet and its inhabitants thrive. We are going to have subtle yet distinctive pointers. Now, this is not going to be naff and over the top, but we are going to have very, very subtle pointers that kind of connect to deeper spiritual nuances, so that people that are connected in that way kind of understand those things, but it's not in a kind of in your face way. It's kind of very subtly done, so that people can kind of think, okay, I know what they're doing here. So there'll be a lot of things where we're connecting to different chakras that have different types of communication that are connected to those. We also have our hashtag principles. So we've got My Two Seeds, which invites people to create their own content and link it back. And that content that's then linked back, we will then be using that as content on our page, so that it has this very nice cyclical creation process. We have done some research into certain hashtag strategies, just so some of our audience that are looking for the types of material that we're going to be posting will be able to connect in. But more than anything, our landing pages and our social media presence is an opportunity for us to have a holding space for people to connect with us and learn about the movement, so that as and when people are discussing things, they can get updates, they can learn about it, and they can, you know, we've got them in that space so that as and when we're developing new information, or we've got our tech that's about to launch, they can get updated. We'll also have small snippets that link back to the library. So this is an example of this, and I designed this. So I'm going to be working with real designers to get this actually launched. But this is an example of how we'll have small quotes from long form articles that are on our library page. So then it will connect through to that and give people short form examples of long form. We're also going to have weather reports that are astrological in nature. So I'm really, really excited about this one, because I haven't seen anyone doing anything like this. And I think it's something that could really get quite a following. And, you know, we've got amazing people that can create this kind of content. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing it come through to fruition. So that we'll be sharing astrological updates, but in a kind of weather report format. So we'll just have like someone with a green screen and then be creating that with some of the amazing award-winning producers that we have in the community. So let's make the most of the talent that we have here. It's pretty phenomenal. Some of the media things, now this actually came along from a lot of the alliances that are doing fantastic work. I would love for us to do kind of documentaries on these and link them in to inspire people. So we've got React, Remind, Return, and Remember, and we'll just be kind of getting snippets from our community and putting them together in a kind of seeds format that will then be narrated and shared with our audiences, so that people get an update of what's happening with our alliances. Our ambassador and alliance activity is really buoyant, and so much is happening within that. So we really need an opportunity to share that with our audience as and when things are happening, as and when things have been achieved, what people have raised, how they've used their seeds, and to inspire everyone as to get more proposals in and to learn about the community at large. So this gives us an opportunity to share content and to invite people to participate as well that may not be aware. We'll also have regular Noah's Art. Noah's Art is inspiring mediums that are maybe using natural products to create art or music or sound healing, things with gong baths and ceremonies to inspire people through art. And we'll also have On This Day. So there's some, you know, this was for Random Acts of Kindness Day that was taking place in September. For an example, if there was an On This Day that was Random Acts of Kindness, we could then have a gamification version on our social media that says, be the change you wish to seed. And everyone that's tagging that can then send in what they're doing as their random act of kindness. That would then give us the content that we can then share of this is what's happening in our community. And we can just collectively share that, if that's through our stories, if that's through video content, however it is we want to share, we would have that opportunity. And it's also going to be practical, but with purpose. So we've all been on our own individual journeys, and these have given us life hacks, whether it's from hygiene, food, health, wellness, regeneration. Each one of us has some secret sauce that we can share. So the idea is to really empower people with practical things they can integrate into their life. You know, whether or not that's doing something that's like a vegan alternative to a meat product. We're not just going to give them the tools to do it. We will inform them as to why these things are a good idea. So there'll also be education attached to that as well, along with the practical aspect. This is just a bit of a vision board about what our social media landing page will look like. So we're going to have one image to start with on Instagram, that behind each of these boxes, there will be a what is seeds, how to get involved with seeds, little snippets of things to do with our alliances. We'll have Noah's Art in there, and that will all look holistically beautiful as one picture that's inspiring, but behind that people can dig further into more content. So you can experience seeds as deep as you want to and as deep as you have time to at that given moment, but you have an opportunity to visit that at any time that you want to. And we can also then communicate with all the audience that are there. We each speak to people about seeds every day, and people that are an extension of that community all know about seeds, but they, apart from the library and the app, we need to have more opportunities to connect with our audiences. So that's what the social media allows us to do. These are just some examples of how we'd onboard new vendors. I can share this text and how we would do some of our campaigns as well for hiring or getting people in the community to support us. And I'll share this afterwards. So this is the beginning, guys, and I hope that you all believe in what it is that we're looking to achieve here, and I hope that you're all looking forward to co-creating with us. So this is what I'm going to be focusing on with identity and expression. I'm also going to be working with the library, also working with the editing of content, creating content, and you know, helping out as and when I can with the skill set that I have. So yeah, really looking forward to co-creating with everyone and making magic happen. I shall pass to Leo.
I'm not prepared, teacher, today. I'm sorry. No, it's not true. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah mainly already, and also Naila already told you a lot of things about this project, and because it's that huge and because it's that important to do this. And my role in this system is actually with Luigi and Alberto, then we'll talk with you later, try to find a format, a way to unificate all the graphic imagination in order to spread this content with the proper energy. Because what happens if a person as Sarah or Naila or whatever person is producing a content doesn't have the proper tools for spread our brand image around the world and in all different communities. The problem is that if we don't have these proper tools, if we don't have these proper assets to give to the person that are creating, it will be a lot of confusion because we will not understand from where will arrive this kind of content. Then, for Be Quick, a lot of things that I'm doing now, for example, in the Game of Seeds group, is to give to the guys that are doing the pipeline for produce the content, the video content, all the assets that they can use for having this massive production and with a coherence inside. And also with all the animation that you will see on the websites and on the video, I will produce and spread and share with you all the assets and all the project for have the tools for produce your own video, your own content, for example. The last things I did, and then I will pass, and I'm really proud about it, is this one. Well, it's a really important moment because nobody saw this but just few people. And also this. And also this. So why this is really important, why I'm showing you this tiny logo animation of 5 seconds, because this will be the movement that will follow all the communication in the future. And it's important to have a ground, a common ground to share solid with everybody in order to communicate in the proper way. So Luigi, if you want to add something about this concept, it's your turn. Thank you very much. I just wanted to remind, we have only 15 minutes, so if we could do shorter presentations, and yeah, so we can have some time for questions and answers. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Julia. I'll try to be as quick as possible. So thank you, Leo, for passing to me. I am Luigi. Mostly I'm doing web design and web develop, but also graphic design. So I'm kind of hybrid between two circles, actually. This one and the tech circle with the app, Alex, not the people. I've been working with the visual identity from the beginning. So I started to feel more and more confident to helping other people and steward a little bit other graphic designer on how to use it. So this is the little group that we created at the beginning, that is me, Leo, and Alberto, is kind of willing to take the visual identity and make it like express it at its best with every tool that we can create, like from websites to app to poster, flyers, stickers, animations, whatever. What I'm working right now is the new website, joinseeds.earth. If you want a super quick preview, I can share the screen. If we don't have time, I'll cut out. So I'm working on that. I will be working very soon on the rebranding of the Seeds library, because we want also the Seeds library to be updated with a new visual identity. I will be working on the new website for the ambassadors, and I'm actually working on all the designs that are the global passport, all the designs that are for the tools, so like the widgets, the plugins. So I'm more oriented on the web part and digital part. For what is graphic, videos, and this type of assets, I'm just helping when it's needed and kind of giving feedback and stewarding other talented person like Leo and Alberto. So this is me in short. And I will pass to Alberto now.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Alberto, I'm a graphic designer. I used to work with Luigi in Italy. Basically, I joined a month ago, so I'm pretty new to the project. But I already had sorry for my rusty English. I'm trying to express the best I can. So I already started working on some of the graphic design elements, both online and something also offline. So one of the main tasks I already started is all the Google Doc thing, which is pretty long and complex, but basically I already created a template, and I took the 6 documents we can find at the footer of the website, and with the same contents transfer with the new graphic design layout and following all the brand guidelines. So based on that, I applied this this concept also to the newsletters, to graphic design solutions for posters, flyers, all the elements. I mean, some of the elements, there's going to be much more that require this this type of work. So of course, I'm not working on the contents. I'm working on the graphic design to be coherent and consistent with the new Seeds brand identity. So at the moment, that's what I'm working on. And soon I'm going to be also focusing on the social network and Instagram, mainly graphic design. So that's it for what I'm working on at the moment.
Alberto, sorry, can you please share with us the PDF of the Keynote presentation?
Yeah, I also did the template for Keynote. I can send you the chat.
Perfect.
Yeah, I send you in the chat.
So Alberto is going to be helping develop all of the templates that we're creating for Canva and other platforms, so that people have the tools to use their own. Oh, I have it up here, actually. I can share my screen so that people have the tools that they need to develop stuff on their own. So this is the Keynote template that he did. Obviously, it's a template, so you use it for whatever your needs are. And this is a way to use the brand identity to express your content. and you can like change the photos if you want. It's all, I mean, it's like normal. It's a normal keynote presentation. So he's reworking all of the documents that you find at the end of the website, like all of the 2 pages, 3 pages, all of those decks, and anything else really that the community is asking for, the ambassadors are asking for, so that we can build this movement and it looks beautiful and it's, you know, using the same visual style, so it's recognizable. And that is the best way to proliferate the identity, but therefore proliferate the recognition and recall from our various audiences and stuff.
So Nyla, with the facilitator hat, we have only 10 minutes. I'd like to go over, this is also beautiful. It's very hard to interrupt you because it's so inspiring, and I also want to see more, but I wanted to have this space for people to bring out questions. I see there is already a question in the chat from Mark. So maybe we can, I don't know, raise your hands. I would say use the Zoom feature to raise your hands, but there are not too many of us, so we can maybe just raise your hands or type the question into the chat, and then whoever is able to answer. So Mark has a question here. Where does the Moneyland project live in the circles, and does anyone know the current status? So whoever wants to.
So most of the people in the circle don't even know about Moneyland. It's not managed by this circle. My best guess is that if Haifa decides to get it produced, that maybe it would go through D Studio. We need animators to produce that, and probably a director. But no, that is not managed by this circle. That's more of a marketing thing. And as I mentioned, this group is not marketing.
Okay. So anyone other questions? Oh, Joachim, go ahead, Joachim.
Yeah, hi there. And thank you for all the cool design snippets. Love your work, Leo. You know, it's great stuff from Sarah. Always love to see these new snippets. And Luigi, of course, with all the good design work. Fantastic. I'm trying to sense into, you know, what this identity and expression is. I'm trying to understand a bit more about what direction you're going. I can see that you're going into sort of back to the roots of storytelling, back to sort of content oriented, you know, focusing on the content, the what aspects, right? And you're saying, you know, you're separating kind of the identity from the brand, right? So you want to have as little to do with marketing as possible, but still keep an eye on the brand in some way, right? So create what you said, a shared brand, shared identity, right? That's something I still have to, you know, see more how that would work without diluting it too much. You know, once we hand it over into the community, they can do whatever they want with the brand, right, that we have. And that of course risks a bit of, you know, losing all the good work we put into that, right? Or we have to be sort of on guard the whole time what happens out there. So back to questions for you. One question is, you know, a while back you had guardians of the brand, right? What's going to happen to them in this context? The other question for me is, I'm a little bit worried that you're doing, you know, a few things. You're involved in a lot of things here, right? I mean, this covered a huge spectrum here, and you can't be involved deeply in all of these things at the same time. How do you handle this, you know, if it goes up to scale, you know, if you need a lot more people to create and produce content, right? Is that breaking down into a lot of small projects here, or do you see yourself as this is a function of the organization rather, right? To put some processes in place to handle that kind of load, right? So I'm trying to still sense what is going on, because you said it's not marketing, right? So you're not focusing on the strategy, you're not focusing on PR, public media stuff, and where we're taking the brand next. So where is that in relationship to Haifa as a function or as a series of kind of quests to solve smaller little problems, right? That are popping up and translated into these content pieces, which is important, no doubt about that. But I try to understand where that fits into the bigger picture. I'll stop here.
Okay, that was like a 12-part question. I'm trying to remember the beginning of it. With regards to it taking on a lot, yeah, there's a lot to be taken on. The way that I think Kim and I were envisioning Guardians is as a badge, and then doing that work on like on a bounty basis. So once we kind of educate people to get to understand what it is that they need to be looking out for, then kind of letting the community self-regulate. You did mention something about what happens when you hand it over to the community. Well, right now we haven't really given many tools, so the community is just developing their own, and they're not nearly as good as what we can provide. So the idea is to provide as much tools as we possibly can. There's never been anything stopping the community from developing their own stuff and saying this is seeds. Nothing, never. We can't stop that from happening in any case. What we do want to do is provide as many tools as we can so that they won't have to, or they won't want to. They'll be like, oh, well, why would I recreate this when there's this gorgeous thing right here that I have access to and I can use for my needs? And the idea is that we always kind of want to have a link back to what it is we are. And that's anything from like the colors to the fonts to the type of photography style. And as soon as you see it, you can kind of get it. And if you have the tools to use that on your own, then you'll use that, and then it will like become very organic. But the idea mainly is to create as many tools as possible so that they won't be creating something that's completely different. And even if they do, that's the nature of the beast, right? I hope that answers that. I know that you had a lot, your question was probably longer than my answer, so I don't know if I got to all of it.
Yeah, we can take that offline, Nyla. Maybe one more part of the question was sort of going to scale, right? Because there will be a lot of people involved. How do you handle that within movement building?
You just provide as many tools as you possibly can. You teach people who can teach more people who can teach more people, and you kind of you grow in that way. Ideally, then those processes would be moved over to the Seeds DHO in terms of bounties and quests. But until that is up and running, we've got to work with the tools that we've got.
I also heard you say about badges and gamification of this, spreading this word. So this could also help to scale and help everyone become like a help each other to scale in an organic way with the game. So
100%.
So any other questions? We have 3 minutes. Ooh. Andrea.
Hey, thank you guys for the presentation. It was, I feel it was much needed for me because maybe to tell my story, I started to dive deep into seeds from September, and still I find it very intransparent and difficult to understand how can I co-create. For example, I serve as an ambassador now, and I build my own tools because I thought there's nothing available. I mean, I'm digging through some Word Google Docs that are there, but then I build my own presentations. And I question if a website to find the information is best. Maybe setting up a server would be better to browse through documents, or I don't know, to have a file share, because we are all co-creators, and a website for me more serves the purpose of attracting newbies to our community. This is one thing. Then maybe this is not for this circle, but although I'm in the Ambassador Academy, I still struggle how to I think I have many talents where I could serve even in this circle because I'm a trained graphic designer and computer scientist, and I can do video editing, so I can help with bits and pieces. I'm more focusing on organizational development now, but I struggle to find how do I get in? I think it's very close. So I try to attend as many calls as possible, but still I'm like, okay, so how can I co-create with you? It's another question. And then if there's urgent work to do, even if I don't have a role, is there possibility that I can help you out last minute? And then is if you don't have a role, is there possibility for compensation? And also, yeah, I think this is the main question. So if you need help, I'm there. I also have a company with a lot of like a digital marketing agency or also branding. So I have a lot of freelancers at hand that I'm busy onboarding, but they can also deliver work to maybe. So yeah, I just need info how to co-create. Maybe this is a good document you could create.
Thank you so much, Andrea. And absolutely, part of what we want to do with the website is like a downloadable options for all of those tools, so that you can get the Keynote, you can get whatever. We need to speak to the community. That hasn't kicked off yet, because technically, like, I'm not even in the role yet. But these are the plans that we want to create and talk to people like yourself. What is it that you actually need in order to do what you're doing? What information are you looking for that you don't have? So that we can provide that in the best formats possible. So you asked about how to co-create, and then you asked about offering your time. 100%. We're hoping that to create processes with quests and bounties. So quest is like, we need this work done and this is how much we can pay for it. Is anyone available to do that? So that's a quest, and a bounty is that would be a bounty, actually. That would be a bounty. And then a quest is, I'm looking to do this work for this much. Is that okay with you guys? If the answer is yes, then that's a quest. And then a contribution is, I've done this work, can you pay me for it? So a couple different approaches, but yeah, we're trying to develop the systems whereby we can get help from someone like you. And there was a third question, but I can't remember what it was. The one in the middle.
Do you have like a possibility to find resources now? Or is still everything in the like in creation mode? So
we're hoping to create that. We really want to create that. That's kind of what this whole circle is designed to do. So no, I mean, there's no central location for any of that stuff right now.
No, but have you maybe a Google Docs document with the links to the documents that are available, or is it? Do you plan to?
It's very disseminated at the moment. A lot of different documents in a lot of different places.
Yeah, but maybe this could be a first step to just have a Google Doc with links to maybe the Keynote master or something like this, so that people don't build their own, because this is what I'm doing at the moment since 4-5 months.
Yeah, we're working on that now.
And then for me, it's very
right.
Because if I want to participate in the calls, I don't want to disturb the work in progress, but in order to find out which quest would make sense, I need to listen to the calls, and especially in movement building, many calls are not in the video recording, so I can't even follow up. How do you do that?
We're going to put that all on the website.
Yeah, I just wanted to be mindful of the time because there are people with other meetings, right, starting right now, myself included. And I just wanted to celebrate that we have this excellent time for alignment and for clarity. And I think, of course, this is the start of the sub-circle, and there's a lot to do. And so maybe we can share like one word of celebration of this, if you want to connect with the next steps, and then we can bring the other questions and discussions to Discord as well. So whoever wants to say any last words of celebration.
I'm going to say momentum. Momentous momentum. Do I have to pass to somebody?
Yeah.
Okay, just momentum then.
Whoever wants to bring to the fire.
I would like to say rock and roll. Alberto.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty hyped too to progress doing this stuff. I think the first results are pretty interesting, and the more I also work on this stuff, the more I learn about this movement, which is something quite new to me, but it's so interesting. And so my word is hype. It's difficult to translate into English, but the will is to keep creating cool stuff and to share with you guys, and also looking for your opinion on that. So it's gonna be soon, I hope. Luigi.
Thank you. I see new people and old friends, new friends. So my word is connect. Because we are connecting all together.
All right.
If what we shared today resonates, please support what we have in the DHO. Both Nyla and I have active things that require community support at the moment. So if this resonates, if you want to see this magic come to life, then please help us make it happen.
Yeah.
So support.
All right. So thank you all. We really need to go. See you. Bye. Have a nice one.
Bye.